tienen detrás Bosnia aí vai How natural this.
How very natural.
Se volete salire, non so.
Je parlais chinois, j'ai appris, je me suis marié, moi, toute ma vie a été entièrement axée sur des grands moments d'amour, de passion. Donc je me suis... C'est compliqué parce que moi, il y a un peu familial, je n'ai rien à voir avec la je suis un quart, donc un quart brésilien, un quart grec d'Égypte, un quart italien et un quart franco-allemand suisse. Résultat, 6 ans, j'ai décidé, bon maintenant, on arrête. Arrêtez vos conneries, je ne parlerai plus aucune de ces langues. J'ai commencé à apprendre l'anglais. Et à 14 ans, j'ai dit, maintenant, je vais me remettre aux langues et ça va être que des langues qui ne sont pas là. Donc j'ai appris le chinois. Parce que c'était 68, pour les mêmes raisons, évidemment. Le bon climat, tu vois, on était tous un peu marxistes, zéninistes, hein, on n'était pas entièrement... C'était assez bizarre comme situation, mais à 16 ans, je parlais chinois. À 18 ans, je parlais chinois assez couramment. Il avait bien et voilà. Et on s'est mariés et on se connaissait depuis. Quand on passe 6 mois, on s'est mariés. Moi, j'avais 22 ans, elle avait 23 ans. On a pris le bus. Je ne pouvais pas faire la fête, parce que c'était interdit, c'était la campagne contre le libéralisme bourgeois. Donc on n'a pas fait la fête. Et voilà, le soir, je suis allé dîner au restaurant Moscow Fandé. 我结婚了那天晚上，我去北京的，我是朝阳毛头人了。Voilà, on est allé se saouler la gueule, quand même, elle et moi, comme ça, très romantique et tout. On est rentré à la...
Tu me donnes les droits du scénario
si tu veux. Et non, mais la meilleure réplique dans ce scénario, c'est que... Ouais. Voilà. Et un mois après, c'était la mort de Mao Zedong. Et il dit que tout cela, c'est de ma faute. Il dit tout cela, c'est de ma faute. Non, mais la meilleure, c'est que moi, j'ai pris ma IPA.
Oui, mais écoute, justement, ce qu'il fait, on pourrait dire que c'est pas. Mais en fait, comment il fait?
And it's co-produced by Fabrica. Can you speak about it, what the story is treating, and how did you find in Fabrica co-produced?
Well, the story of the film is it's a war story. It's about Bosnia. It's happening in 1992, and whole story is happening, in fact, in between two front lines. There is a group of soldiers which is caught there. In fact, 2 of them survive, and then 2 enemy soldiers get there to check what was happening, and now all of them together they get stuck. At the end, you're gonna see in the cinema, hopefully. Cooperation with Fabrica came, in fact, because my French producer, Tadao Ando, went to Sao Paulo Festival and there met Marco Muller, who was there watching films, and I think he was in jury. And he gave him a screenplay, and Marco Muller read it, and the same day, in fact, decided to get in. Then he came to Paris, we met, we discussed, he liked the idea, and so here we are.
So you didn't have this long and painful story of searching for a producer, and plus you are coming from a country where there is no money for cinema. Do you think it's a chance you have?
Chance, you know, we can discuss about that maybe some other time. I know what I think is I've been working since 10 years in documentaries. In fact, my first love was feature film, but then when war came in Bosnia, suddenly I realized somehow that life was much better screenplay writer than I could ever be. It just was enough to be there with the camera and to catch the moments of life. And I started to work in documentaries, and for 10 years I've been doing it. And then one day I realized that my first love was the feature film, and then in fact it was I suddenly wished to return to it and to make my first film. And I wrote a screenplay, and frankly, I didn't have any troubles getting. It was really quick story. It was 11 October that I gave a script to my French producer, and today we are September. No. And
this is the war, the bombing in Sarajevo.
This is what?
The bombing in Sarajevo.
Ah, you're making this like that. And we are now in September, and the film is done. So.
So you're now in the post-production?
Not yet. I didn't quite finish yet the filming. I have 2 or 3 more scenes to do, but I think in 2 weeks' time I'm going to start doing editing here in Fabrica, in this beautiful place.
Listen, are you using some of your original footage in the film, or you're doing?
I haven't decided yet. I'm going to use for sure some footage from Bosnian TV, but then again there are some footage of mine that's been there, because during the war, the stuff I've been filming, I've been giving it to Bosnian television, so they could save it, in fact, because it was about the only safe place in Sarajevo to keep the tape. So I think I'm going to use some stuff, but then we have to check again the quality, because a lot of times we use high-8 tapes and high-8 cameras, because I was going on front lines and taking big equipment was too heavy. So we'll see.
Wait for this train to pass. Don't take it as a provocative question, because I want just we comment on that. Marty Muller said before that he chose your film and films that treat reality and give the true story of a lot of things that happen around us, and that nobody has the courage really to confront and themes that we don't confront. So in your first feature film, did you go back to the war because you feel that it's not understood and that you want to tell the true story?
Well, the question of truth is a subjective question. Truth is, for me, something else than it is for you. That's the first thing. And I came back to word theme because I had a feeling that I couldn't explain something with documentaries film that I needed to explain with this feature film. And that was about the only reason I did it. And I hope I'm going to finish with war, with this subject, with this film. But it's a kind of event in your life which takes you, and I think it's going to stay forever in you. So there was something I wanted to say. There was something there. I think there is not enough of voices being raised in the world against war, because still in the end of this 20th century, we have, in the beginning of 21st, still have wars, we have genocides happening, we have all kind of stuff which should be stopped, still in fact happening. We have hungry people, we have all the worst is still there. So I think we should keep raising voices and try to do something against it, everybody in his own way.
Well, thank you. And looking forward.
So the first question is, what is your next project with Fabrica Cinema?
我们现在正在准备一个首先是一个纪录片的系列，这个就叫做《疯狂的中国》。
We're working on a project which, for the very first time, it will be a television project, a documentary series, which will probably go under the title of Crazy China.
这个既有电影，很快也要有一个杂志出来，然后也要做网站。 有很多非常奇怪的人和奇怪的事情聚集在这个计划当中。
And we are actually considering the possibility of producing this documentary series, but also to have a special issue of colors and a website created, all of them around this theme, Crazy China, the crazy images of the China which exists and represent the majority, but nobody knows anything about it.
And why did you choose Fabrica as a partner?
那你为什么要跟这个 Fabrica Cinema 合作？
因为当然最重要的一点是因为这个地方有我们非常好的朋友，有我们中国人民非常好的朋友马尔克先生。
Well, there is basically one reason, because in Fabrica lies hidden a very good friend of the Chinese people and of the Chinese filmmaker, somebody who goes under the name of Marco.
This is the other question. China is very closed, and is it helping?
紧闭的一个地方。
Is it helping the international acknowledge the fact that last year you got a big prize at the Venice Film Festival in your future?
有人支持你们，是不是这个？是不是也可以说是帮助中国的开放？
对，当然，因为中国有一讲起中国，中国有5000年的历史，5000年的历史。这个5000年历史呢，就是它的文化和它的生活都和这5000年联系在一起。当然，我觉得电影到今天，中国电影开始走出来，也帮助世界了解中国，也使中国有个机会去了解世界。
Well, obviously, I mean, China is a country with a history and a culture which is already 5,000 years old. And most of what we have done culturally in this century has a very close relation to that kind of tradition. But films are, of course, a way to let the world know better.
We see more and more films.
中国他说
为什么
疯狂？为什么西方人对中国那么疯狂？
西方为什么对中国那么疯狂？
他为什么那么疯狂的喜欢中国？
那就像是中国那么疯狂的喜欢西方一样。
But it's exactly the same thing in China with the West. Everybody in China is now crazy about the West. It's entirely mutual.
因为就是大家总是对他自己不知道的东西感兴趣，不知道的东西感兴趣。
It's quite obvious that anything that looks and feels exotic enough will always be very appetizing.
And in the real sense, what is crazy?
但是真正的那个疯狂在哪里？
真正的疯狂，真正的疯狂就是在每个人的心里，真正的疯狂在每个人的心里。
Well, I mean, the craziest part is what we carry in our heart.
Thank you very much. Come si dice in
Sì,
cinese?
sì.
谢谢。
Sì. appear here in Fabrica and what you work on.
Okay. My name is Akira Fujimoto, and I'm from Tokyo. I spent almost 6 months already. So, the question, please.
What you work on here, and with how many people you work,
Okay.
and what are the projects you have,
Okay.
and how Fabrica is helping you.
Okay, I'm belong to design department here, and I'm working with 15 people, the Spanish, Italian, Sweden, from England, from Holland, United States, blah blah blah, French. So, and it's mainly now Benetton shop, new concept Benetton shop in the long term, and another project, a lot of short projects, and collaborate with another department, and Fabrica. So Fabrica is a kind of jail, but of course, good opportunity, great experience, a lot. So I like people's. Yeah, I learned a lot. Yeah, but sometimes, of course, really hard to understand it. It's kind of mainly from Benetton. This is completely Benetton, so really hard to understand. Good question.
So you expected to work on more things, not only on Benetton projects.
Yeah, of course. How to say? A lot of workshop, and also not only Benetton, of course. Some, for example, from graphic department, it's Fujifilm, and some. I can't say anymore. Really hard. But a lot of collaboration. Yeah.
And from here, what do you think for the future? Do you think that this experience helps you? Experience in
Okay,
Fabrica?
for me.
For you.
Okay, of course. Really great experience. Really great. So, and also, I can without kind of nationalism. I had before really strong nationalism because I'm Japanese. So, but now it's really natural to speak, and with laughing and talk. It's really important thing for me. It's I could make a good friend here. So for me it's great. Just and like a future, I don't know. No future.
ありがとう。
どういたしまして。
You know what? I want you.
Thank you.
Take a thing, yeah?
Yeah, everyone. So everyone has. So I want to make just one off. Yeah. So,
So what is written here?
thank you. Thank you.
It's like full immersion.
So they want to make some exhibition to show that the images. So we designed this.
Thank you.